Today, we're going to spend some time going over potential trade candidates between now and opening day. So, Jim Bowden put out his list of the top 7 in terms of talent. It doesn't mean that they're going to get traded. In fact, we might not see any of these players get traded, but he listed Skubal, Ketel Marte, Jarren Duran, CJ Abrams, Sandy Alcantara, Brendan Donovan, and Luis Severino on there. Again, not that they're necessarily going to get traded. We know that the Diamondbacks came out publicly, AJ, and said we're not trading Ketel Marte. JB doesn't quite believe them. He thinks that the asking price wasn't met, and if suddenly there's a spring training injury or some type of issue for a team, they might call them back and try to make it happen. I don't want to make this just about Ketel, but your overall thoughts on the list, and do you think anyone on there actually could get dealt between now and call it March 1st?
CJ Abrams would have been the one for me, but then they just asked and they got rebuked because they asked for too much. Skubal, after talking to him at the BBWAA on Saturday and talking to Hinch and everybody else involved, he's not getting traded unless something crazy happens because they're ready for arbitration. And AJ Hinch was talking about how he's throwing 100 already, and he told him to calm down because they need him for the long haul. Marte, they've already tried, didn't happen. Jarren Duran, possibly, but if I'm the Red Sox, I wait because I want to see what kind of year I'm having. Sandy, you need him to come out and get off to a hot start. Then you trade him to a contender. Donovan, yes, but why haven't they traded him already? That's my question with Donovan. And then Severino, I think the A's want to see how they start also before they make that move. Okay, I'll say Donovan. And Abrams would be the 2 on this list. But why hasn't Donovan been traded? And we just heard that CJ Abrams was close, but they wanted too much for him. So I'm going to say 0 before opening day.
I like what you're saying as your secondary, though. I don't think there's any, but if it happens, it's the second base market. Why? Because there are at least 2, if not 3 or 4 teams that could use a second baseman right now. Seattle, for sure. San Francisco, for sure. I would say Boston should be on that list. And then I'm probably missing some other because I'm just ripping off the top of my head. I'm with you. Abrams, the asking price is going to be high. Donovan, the asking price should be a little bit lower. Two very different players, but also Donovan's for 2 years. CJ Abrams is for 3 years. There's a difference in control there. They have very different pluses and minuses. Abrams actually needs to improve on the plate discipline on base percentage side, and that's the one spot that Donovan has to a T. I think he was 361 on base last year. Kratz, what do you think about this list?
I think the list, I'd go back to what Joel Sherman, if you guys didn't see, Joel Sherman was on the show after the BBWAAs, and he was talking about the Mets and how, like, the first domino had to fall with Nimmo. I feel like Jarren Duran on this list is very similar. The first domino has to fall for the Red Sox. The Red Sox either need a second baseman or a third baseman. I think Marcelo Meyer, they think, could fit into one of those. And I think if they would get a Eugenio Suarez, if they would get maybe possibly, you get Isaac Paredes from the Astros. There's obviously possibilities there. For third base, it pushes a Meyer to second, and then maybe now they got that right-handed bat. They're okay getting rid of Duran. They're okay trading for one last upgrade at that second base position if Meyer's not going to play there. Or if they don't get one of those guys, Meyer plays third, and they get that upgrade. So I think Jarren Duran, I just felt like there's a lot of smoke before, and I don't think that smoke went away. I think there's still fire there, and I don't think the Red Sox are done yet. I think they've made their one free agent splash with Suarez, Ron Hare, and now I think they could move him because I don't think they want to move Abreu, and they're obviously not moving Roman Anthony out of their outfield.
There might be some prospect pieces that move as part of that too, but AJ, do you like the complexion of an Isaac Paredes to help the infield logjam moving over to Boston, where there's a very, very primary need at third base or second to an extent? Or, and then Duran goes the other way to Houston. I know we're going to talk to Chandler Rome later. This was a team where you're looking for a little more action, right?
From who? Boston or from Houston?
Houston. Yeah, technically both, but Houston too, right?
Houston went out and got a Mai. They've done some stuff. They're counting on Alvarez coming back, Christian Walker being back, and Isaac Paredes having an entire year there. So I don't know. They signed an outfielder. Didn't they bring in an outfielder too? I have to look now. Shoot, pretty sure they bring in.
I just don't know where Paredes plays. I just don't know where Paredes plays for the Astros. And I think,
well, Correa, maybe second
Correa
base, and they try Altuve left field trick again.
I mean,
He's going to get reps
more
at
of
second.
Yeah,
That's what they said at FanFest. No, I'm with you. That's what they said at FanFest. They don't want Altuve playing much outfield, but he might play a little bit there. Paredes second. Yes, the way that they're describing things does not make it seem very logical in terms of your best defensive fit. Right now, I'll give you the lineup from Fangraphs against righties. Jeremy Pena, shortstop. Jordan at DH. Second base, Altuve. Third, Correa. Christian Walker at first. Jesus Sanchez, who was terrible for them last year, in right. Yainer Diaz at catcher. Zach Cole in left. Jake Myers in center. They could use a Jarren Duran in the outfield.
They could totally. And I think they need to continue to let Cam Smith eat. He's in his second year. Don't platoon this man. The Astros weren't built on that mega platoon. Yes, they had guys like Marwin Gonzalez who were able to slot in places because he was a switch hitter. But to me, Cam Smith, you got rid of Tucker. Like, give him some leash. Don't make it a right-handed only. Don't let Jesus Sanchez take his at-bats away, whether it's versus right-handers or if he's hot, that type of thing. To me, I think that is – anyway, obviously we're just looking at a projected lineup. I shouldn't have gotten so heated about it.
No, you should, because I agree with you. When I just read the projected lineup against righties, Paredes and Cam Smith are on the bench. Ideally, those guys should be platoon neutral and be able to play against lefties and righties for sure. So I know they're right-handed bats, but I mean, it's not like they're going to sit every day against righties. It gives you flexibility, but those are starters.
You got to let Cam Smith play.
And Paredes should play every day too, AJ.
And Paredes should be gone.
He's an all-star.
For that, he should be gone. To me, and it's not that they don't want him. I think they made their bed when they traded for Correa. And I know we talked about with Chandler Rome before. I asked him, I was like, did they not think ahead? It was more of like, hey, we're making a run right now, and we're able to get a guy like Carlos Correa back in the fold. We figure it out. Well, now it's figure it out time. And I hate to hear that we kind of played this song and dance last year with Altuve in left, and how did that go? And then, we don't really like him at second, so maybe Paredes will go to set. Like, no, I think there is a clear value with Isaac Paredes, and it may not be that much more added in Paredes for Jarren Duran. So that's why I picked that out of the list, the one that I think is most likely out of the whole list.
I'll end this with this. I mean, the Astros actually go even further back to Christian Walker, and they were shopping him lightly this offseason. At least that's what it seemed like. And they're not going to get a team to bite on much there based off just an okay year. So if you didn't have Walker there, you could slot Paredes at first. Things line up a lot easier for them. But that's not the case. I think Walker's
but we also let's not forget we praised them when they signed Christian Walker.
I like him.
Remember they were coming off Jose Abreu, who was a disaster. They needed some right-handed power. They didn't know that Jordan was going to miss the whole year. They didn't realize that Paredes, once they traded for him, was going to miss a huge chunk of time. So the Christian Walker deal for them made total sense when they did it. And now we're like, we got to get rid of him. Let's pump the brakes. Let's give Christian a chance to have a second year, because his second half was much better than his first half. So let's not just say, Christian Walker's got to go. I disagree on that. I think Christian Walker's in line to have a possible big year.
I agree. Power didn't really go down much. He had 27 homers after he had 26 the year before. It was just the on-base percentage dropped quite a bit for him. He's still one of the best defenders at first base. So I'm with you. I don't think you're going to get much value on the trade market. You should keep that man and let him play first base for you for the next couple of years.